Hi, my name is John Hanley with the Brady Corporation, and I'm here today at CBT in Cincinnati to talk a little bit about coronavirus signage, something very important in this day and age as we all start to learn and grow with this new condition. Wanted to first discuss signage that you might need if your customers or employees are coming to the main entrance doors and or customer entrance doors, the type of signage that you should see and possibly consider putting on the door. Okay, so what you should consider with your coronavirus signage for the main doors that customers and employees might be wanting to come in through is the main overall message about the virus, what management wants to convey to the people coming into the building. Signage of a rigid nature like plastic or aluminum is usually the best situation, or also peel and stick, but the signage should have colors and possibly headers. Your eyes go a lot quicker to that. There's situations where if you put it too much 8.5 by 11 signage or pieces of paper, the message becomes really confusing. So stick to color and maybe a sign of a more rigid nature. Okay, now as we transition over to the counter area, or maybe areas where your customers might be coming into your facility and maybe possibly having to wait, consider using more permanent floor tape options. For example, the Brady Tough Stripe line of tape. You can now put down tape on the floor in various colors that'll stick to carpets, linoleums, cement, whatever it might be that you have at your customer areas. And now we have offerings that have pre-printed messages on the floor tape. So for example, if you want to make sure that there's 6 feet of distance between customers waiting and the countermen, you can use our Tough Stripe floor tape that has pre-printed message, this one referencing standing 6 feet back. Also, if you want to maybe put areas around the waiting rooms that you recommend customers can stand while they wait, you can use Brady's Tough Stripe die cuts. Die cuts are available in several shapes. These particular ones, circles. We also have footprints, arrows that they're stocking here at CBT, T's, crosses, and L. Much better options than using duct tape. Now, counters themselves, good area to actually consider maybe using your 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. If you have coronavirus information that's sensitive, it might be updated weekly or daily, this would be an acceptable area to maybe go ahead and use your inkjet and laser printers to print off signs for these type of areas. Now, as we start to transition into other areas of the facility and building, such as a kitchen lunchroom area, consider COVID-19 signage in here that maybe is addressing the larger picture of what needs to be done, kind of the good housekeeping, if you will, type of signage. An example here, washing your hands often, covering your cough and sneeze, and avoiding close contact. Also in these social areas of the buildings and facilities, also consider some of our larger signage, poster size, that once again will convey a lot of these messages and best practices for getting through the coronavirus here. Also, for areas like this, we might want to consider removable grade adhesives. And Brady has a line of label makers and sign makers where you can make your custom coronavirus signs and labels with a light to removable grade adhesive. So if so desired, if the message changed, the situation changes next year, you'd be able to remove these type of adhesive signs and labels that you can make yourself on site. Contact CBT if you'd be interested in a demonstration on one of those printers. Okay, now we moved out into the warehouse and production part of the building, and we want to start with one thing here. We want to make sure that our OSHA markings for the floor are in place, because that's very important that you have your required OSHA floor markings in place, such as pedestrian walkways and forklift safety signage. So make sure you have that in good working order before you start to think about the COVID-19 signage. Now, in these kind of busy areas, we want to make sure we're using the larger die-cut floor signs, in this case the 17-inch round, and also we're using the anti-slip material, which is nice when it starts to turn to winter and colder temperatures, and snow and rain might be an issue in these high-traffic areas, as you can see here in shipping and receiving. Other things to consider in these larger areas of production are custom items, including the banners. At Brady, we're working hard to update our selection of COVID-19 signage, including large banners, which would go real well in the production and warehouse facilities. So remember, folks, you can get all of these stock and custom solutions through Brady and the fine folks at CBT.